What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about the infamous PlayStation Showcase. Now, I don't literally mean infamous showing up at it. I mean this thing that we may honestly not get in 2022, and that's part of this discussion. That's part of what I want to talk about, because here we are. I mean, I'm recording this October 11th. It's been a slow week, but you know what? That gives us chances to do this, and it's been quite the year for PlayStation, right? They've had games, Horizon obviously being big, God of War coming out next month, but can they really let this entire year go, without doing something? Now, that is not being all that fair, right? Because, of course, we do have state of plays and things that they have done. And I have brought this up before. The last state of play, the one that we got, the story trailer, right? The legendary story trailer for God of War Ragnarok. To be fair, that is one of, if not the best state of plays they have ever done. Now, keeping in mind, state of play, right? The ones that they actually call that. That is not a PlayStation Showcase. The PlayStation Showcase that we're talking about is the June one, June of 2020, in which they, showed the PS5, showed Horizon, Ratchet & Clank, all that stuff. And then September 2020, where they did God of War, they did Hogwarts Legacy, among others. And then last September, where, Wolverine, Spider-Man 2, etc. Those are different. So while I will give them full-on credit, and the state of play was definitely much better than a normal state of play and was entering a PlayStation Showcase type of level, let's say, it still wasn't. It wasn't called a PlayStation Showcase, and it wasn't, I would say, the theme of what you consider a PlayStation Showcase, because, to look at it a little critically, the biggest thing, I think we can all agree with this last state of play, was Ragnarok's trailer. Now, there was more. It was overall a very consistently good show, but Ragnarok's trailer was the biggest thing. And when you think of a PlayStation Showcase, you think, all right, well, they have to cover a wide variety of things, right? Games that are coming out, but also games that we haven't seen yet, and they don't have to be games that are just exclusive. They could be games that are not, like a Hogwarts Legacy, right? So, here we are, October 11th. Could we still get one before the end of the year? God, I hope so. Now, the last we heard, I guess if you go online at any given moment, you'll have people talking about their speculation with when the show actually will be. You have people like Roberto Serrano on Twitter that predict dates. Last time we heard from Jeff Grubb, in his opinion, not leak, not rumor, not insider, in Jeff Grubb's opinion, he doesn't actually think that Sony will do it this year, that they're going to skip this year. I mean, I can't imagine. I can't, because we are sitting on quite a few different things. Now, it could be because Sony is kind of like separating things out. I think of like EA almost in a way, where EA has said like, hey, we're not going to do any more EA Play Lives, right? Their showcase. We're not going to do that. Instead, we're going to give kind of presentations to games as they need them. So Dead Space needed it, Need for Speed needed it, right? Eventually Dragon Age will need it, things like that. When you think to Sony, you think, well, how could they sit on PSVR 2? Because that thing comes out very soon. We still don't know the price. We still don't know the day. We still don't know all of the launch titles. We don't, I'm sure there's plenty of reveals they could do for PSVR 2 titles, and that's just PSVR 2. However, right, in terms of my argument here, it's possible they look at that and say, well, yeah, we have so much for PSVR 2, we're going to do another state of play, and that's what I honestly am starting to lean more and more towards. We can maybe do a state of play at the end of the year, getting people ready for that. I wonder how upset that would make people, feel if they've done it like that, because I guess what I'm getting at too, right, is these like subject state of plays, these ones that have very specific themes. We had like a Japanese one, in the spring, I believe, right? Or maybe it was even last year, but they've done one where the theme is literally Japanese developers, Japanese games. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just, it's themed. It's literally, that's the idea of that state of play. A PSVR 2 one. We're literally going to do one, and it's only on virtual reality stuff, and that's it. I mean, they could easily do that. Now, I would prefer something like a showcase where you could show the Spider-Man 2s. You could announce a couple new games. The thing is, after Ragnarok releases, there is, I guess factually, a limit. We don't really know a lot of the, like, we know they have a lot of studios. They have, third-party deals as well, but we really don't know that many games that are coming out exclusively on PlayStation beyond God. I mean, like, Forspoken is already set in stone. It's been set in stone for like 50 years. You do have Spider-Man 2, which obviously they're going to lean into quite a bit, but you have like Death Stranding 2, which totally seems to be happening, right? You have Wolverine, but that's past Spider-Man 2. Like, we know Naughty Dog is working on the multiplayer for The Last of Us that they said isn't going to be announced till next year, but we also know they're making another game. We know Sony Santa Monica making Ragnarok, but they're making another game. We know Guerrilla is doing things with a Horizon remaster potentially and more. So, like, there's a lot of stuff in the works. There's a lot of things happening, and that could be maybe part of the reason. There's so much happening, but in reality, there's actually not that much, specifically in 2023, in regards to PlayStation exclusives. It really could be Spider-Man and Horizon, like a Horizon remaster. And like The Last of Us, I guess, multiplayer. Like, there will be things, maybe like 3 to 5 things in all, but can you do a showcase around it? I guess that's the point, right? Can you actually do a showcase around 3 to 5 things? Maybe not. I mean, a state of play actually makes more sense for that, at this point. And then when you think of the biggest thing, besides Spider-Man 2, which will sell, insane, you have the PSVR 2. That's the biggest thing that's going to happen for them in the year 2023, and they may not, look to a showcase to do it. It is disappointing, like, in case I didn't make that clear. If there is no showcase, if there is no gigantic event, I mean, I will be very disappointed in PlayStation, for this year. Yes, they've given us games. Yes, they've, I guess, talked to us in a way, with the state of plays. And again, they've done a very good job recently with those state of plays, but I don't know, to not have, like, Nintendo did great. Nintendo had the Nintendo Direct that was big. You announced the Breath of the Wild sequel at the end, and plus the rest of it was really good as well. Microsoft continues to honestly crush it when it comes to the E3 replacement shows. They've done spectacular. They've done really well. And, do you need a show each year? I mean, obviously not. You can do whatever you want, and the consumers keep buying the products. It doesn't really matter. But I don't know. Isn't it kind of a sad world where, you go a full year and Sony doesn't have that big, what used to be E3 was PlayStation Experience at some point, right? Like, don't we want at least, now again, want and need are different. I mean, we definitely want it. Do we need it? I guess not. I guess they could get away with just doing like 3 to 5 state of plays that are themed every year. It's just not the same. Maybe it's a selfish thing. Of course, like, I would love to cover it. I'd love to make videos leading up to it for predictions, and then afterwards, does it get my Sly Cooper like tinfoiled hat ready? Like, yeah, I mean, I got that all prepared next to me. Like, there are things that selfishly, I'd want it, but I do think it helps. I mean, that's another, I guess that's the final thing to say. It's an image thing as well, and maybe bigger than anything else. It's just an image thing that you come out, you give a really big show. It covers a variety of things. It's not necessarily like themed, but I mean, I guess it technically is. I mean, you look to the other ones. The June 2021 was obviously very much themed to PS5, and the rest of them have kind of followed suit, but that one was like the reveal of the PS5. So there is a general theme, but it's not super specific like State of Plays have been. And yeah, I mean, I'll give them credit for doing State of Plays on individual games. I really like it when they do that. I just want a showcase. And at this point, I mean, we're in October 11th. Jeff Grubb thinks it's not happening this year, but we're also like running out of months. Like, we're almost done. And I just don't see how you do it in December. Now, they used to do PlayStation experiences, I believe, early December. Remember, it was like the live kind of event. And that was, I guess, around the same time. I don't know if Jeff Keighley, if it was called the Game Awards still back then, if it was the Spike stuff still. But with the Game Awards as big as it is and continuing to get bigger, I can't imagine Sony does anything in December, and then you go backwards and you go to November. Well, God of War comes out, so do you do it like right before Thanksgiving? Do you do it at the end of this month, right before Ragnarok? I mean, honestly, there's 2 ranges of times I think that are left, and it's now up until a week or 2 before Ragnarok, which, I mean, is coming very, very soon. So it's only like a 2-3 week window. And then right after Ragnarok, but before, let's say, Thanksgiving, American Thanksgiving. Because after that, Thanksgiving, Black Friday, I mean, there is like the holiday built-in period there. They're not going to do it then. And then you get into the first week of December, but then the Game Awards is December 8th, I believe, right? So, like, I guess the first full week. So you're not going to compete with that. I'm sure you could. I just don't think that would actually, like, they would actually do that to Jeff. I just don't think that's going to happen. So we're running out of time, and it may actually be a case where we don't get a PlayStation Showcase this year. So let me know what you guys think. Do you think there'll be one? Do you think there maybe will just be like a VR2 state of play? Let me know. Make sure you guys are subscribed. Bell icon turned on. If you want to follow or support me anywhere else, all my social media is in the description below. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all on the next one.